Hello and welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
And I'm Chris Costa.
What can I help you with today, Chris?
Well, Joanne, I was hoping you could help me create gang runs.
Sure. Let's start right here.
Sure.
I'm going to first go into estimating order entry.
Okay.
And I happen to have two jobs here. My first two jobs are business card jobs. These two jobs happen to have the same paper, the same ink, and the same processes. So they'd be two good jobs to gang.
Sure.
Now, before I actually create the gang, I can do it two different ways. You want to have a planning job in Enterprise that is solely a job for planning your gang run. You can do that by creating the job and pulling the paper and materials or processes that you're going to gang in the job.
Right.
Or what I'm going to show you today is a little easier way. You can
Okay.
actually use a template.
Okay.
And if you don't know how to create templates, take a look at our EPMS Tech Talk on creating templates.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Sure.
So let's come back here and we'll go up to File and choose Templates. And I have a template here called BC2CGR. That's for Business Card 2-Color Gang Run. I'm going to edit that template. And I want to show you this because there are two things that you need to make sure you do when you create a gang run template. And the first thing is that you check this box here that says Gang Run Template.
Okay.
The other thing you want to do is make sure that you put in a customer account here that's a house account. Now, because this is a job that's actually not going to be for a particular customer, it's not going to be billed for a customer, you want to just choose your house account, but it has to be assigned to a customer. Okay?
Okay. Sure. Makes sense.
So when that's done, I'm just going to click OK here. And now I'm ready to build my gang. To build a gang run, you'll come to the Job Planning menu here and choose Gang Runs. And then you click on the Add button. And I'm going to put in a description. We'll call this Business Card Gang Run. Now I can have a couple of different choices. I can enter my gang run quantities. I can enter the gang run by area, or the default is to enter it by percentages. And that's just the way I'm telling Enterprise how to break up how much of each of this gang run is for each particular job.
Okay. Sure.
Next thing I want to do is choose my template. So here's my gang run template. I'm going to select it. Now, in my particular two jobs, I have a quantity of 1,000 each for the jobs.
Right.
So my base quantity for my gang run is going to be 2,000. So I'm going to type that in. Now, once you've selected the template code and you've put in your base quantity, you can just hit the Create button and let Enterprise create the planning job for you.
Now, I could create the planning job first if I wanted to, correct?
Yes, you could.
Okay.
Just having the template done for you makes it a little bit easier.
Sure. Sure.
Now I can go and build the jobs that I want to put in the gang. So I'm going to click Add here, and I'm going to select my first job, which is job number 4073. I'll select it. I'll select the component. And now it's going to bring up the quantity that's ordered for that job, and then the percentage. So I'm going to do 50% to this job, and click OK. Now I'm going to add my second job. 4074 is my second job. I'm going to choose my component 1, and it automatically knows there's 50% left.
Right. Okay.
So I click OK. And now from here, if I did want to add additional jobs, edit what I've done, or delete any of the jobs out of there, I can do that. And I'm going to hit OK. And now my gang is built. Now what we'd recommend you to do is from here you can print out what's called the gang ticket. Now this gang ticket is just a simple planning job ticket. It just simply has the quantity, the job number, description information, and customer. So this can be like the heading of your job ticket. You could print this out and put it at the top of the job ticket.
Right. Okay.
Next, what you'd want to do is close out of here, and then you can print the job ticket for each individual job. The top one should be the actual planning job. You'll notice here that this job, 4075, which is my planning job, it says internal production order, and it's to my house account EPMS. I can go up to Job Planning and print this job ticket. And then the first page of this job ticket now will have the quantities that production needs to know for the entire gang. So it'll have the material quantities, the press quantities, the post-press quantities for the entire gang.
Okay.
Then you can attach to that ticket the job ticket for each individual job. You can print those out, and those will have just the information for that job.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Now, how could I tell what jobs are included in that gang run after the gang run has been created, after the gang job's been created?
Okay. What you can do that two ways. You can highlight the gang run job right here, and you'll notice there's a gang run button now. Because this is a gang run job, you can just click on that button, and it brings you right to this screen where you can see the jobs and the quantities and percentages for that gang.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you're not sure of the job number, you can come up to the job planning screen, choose gang runs again, and you can find it in the list here.
Oh, okay.
And you can see it here as well.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Okay. Now, my shop floor people, how are they going to record time, materials against these gang run jobs?
Well, that's a really good question, Chris. Let's go over into data collections now. And what we can do is we'll just put some press information, the press run and quantities of the material here. So I'm going to select my department and my employee, and I'm going to click on production to enter a production entry. Now here's the key thing. You don't want to enter in an entry for each individual job. You can enter the entries against the planning job and let Enterprise do the work to figure out what belongs on each job.
Okay, excellent.
So I'm going to select my planning job of 4075, my process code of the press run. I'll choose regular time. And I'll come down here, say this particular job had 10 up on the press sheet, so say I did 300 copies. And this job took me 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I click OK, and I've done my labor entry. I'll say no here for another production entry. Now I want to enter my material for that job. Again, I will select the planning job. I will select my paper. Again, select regular time. And I'll come in here and say I used 300 sheets. And I'll click OK. And I'll say no here. Now we can go take a look at job costing and see what that did in job costing. So I'm going to find my employee, and you'll notice here now that I have a production entry, and the job number says gang run, but it has all the information as to the time and quantities that were worked on for that job. If I go up to reports and I choose job cost report, if I type in the planning job, you'll notice that there are no entries against that planning job, even though that was the job number that the production employee actually typed in.
Okay.
The entries will go against each individual job in the gang. So if I type in 4074 and I print, you'll see that I have my production entry here, and I entered 300, but the system knew 50% was for this job and 50% was the other job, so it only applied 150 for the quantity and a quarter of the hour instead of the half hour to this job.
Sure. Okay, good.
If I look at my materials, you'll see the individual entries done against the individual jobs.
Okay, excellent.
Okay?
Okay. Now, what would you suggest I do with the planning job when we're done with this?
Well, you don't want to actually delete the planning job because you want to have your history. So the best thing you can do is to just take that job and invoice it for $0 and let it move into history.
Okay, sure.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think that was very helpful.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
And I'm Chris Costa.
Please look forward to more to come.